Well, hello everybody, Newbornkilik here, welcoming you back to another awesome Zelda video. Now, today, I have some extremely useless, but interesting facts about Dark Link in Ocarina of Time. So for those of you that don't know, I did a theory that basically involved testing the different kinds of swords in Ocarina of Time on Dark Link because he has the same health as we do. If you'd like to check out that video, do it. If not, we're focusing right here for right now, but I just wanted to give a bit of a reason exactly why I have these useless facts. I didn't just go out and find them, they came to me. Is what I'm telling everyone. But yes, today we will be going over 5 extremely useless but interesting facts about Dark Link in Ocarina of Time. Starting off with useless fact about Dark Link number 1, young Link cannot hit Dark Link with his sword. When would this ever come up in a game? It won't, let me tell you that right now. No way to get into the water temple, even if you could. No one wants to fight him with a shorter sword, which is where the problem definitely lies. Dark Link spaces a certain distance away from you, and he's always at that distance. He will always clank with your sword. Before you ask, no, the infinite sword glitch in Ocarina of Time, which for those of you that don't know, basically makes your sword a walking, just massive hitbox every single frame. It's like doing a slice every single frame is basically what the infinite sword glitch is. That doesn't work either. Number 4, Dark Link is stunned by the boomerang. He just is. This would absolutely never come into play during the game, but it does make for some very, very easy testing as far as damage on different items in the game. It's just kind of interesting that Dark Link will actually dodge things like other crowd control items such as the Deku Nuts and stuff like that, or the hookshot. He dodges all of that, but he can't seem to dodge the boomerang. My thought as to why this happens is he has to be a certain distance away from you to perfectly backflip and do these dodges. When you throw a Deku Nut, Link stops for a little bit, allowing him to get into that position or allowing him to kind of have that in his coding, but with the boomerang, the most effective way to get him is to actually back up and throw the boomerang. It gets him almost every time. Also, another fun fact, Link always aims for Dark Link's head. Useless fact number 3, Dark Link's backflips have perfect invulnerability. One would suggest that if you use the infinite sword glitch, which again, gives you an active hitbox on every single frame, if there were any kind of frames of vulnerability during his backflip animation or his dodge animation, were it not all of those hours spent slashing at him while he's retreating and dodging was completely useless because, as we can see here with the infinite sword glitch, there are no frames between his dodge where he can be damaged. Meaning he could just do this all game and we would never, ever get the hookshot. What? Now this next one is kind of an addition to the last one, but if you're using the infinite sword glitch and you just kind of let Link stand there for a little bit or wiggle yourself around in a certain way, it'll count as a thrusting strike that Link will just jump on your sword for. Even though you're not doing the actual attack of a thrusting strike, he just jumps right on your sword and it looks pretty entertaining in my opinion. Another kind of interesting aspect of using the infinite sword glitch is after you back him up into a corner, he becomes incredibly aggressive, attacking at almost every chance he gets. I thought that Dark Link's aggression was mostly linked towards his lack of health, like how much he's been damaged, but apparently it also ties somewhat into the amount of times you swing at him. The more aggressive you are, the more aggressive he is, kind of meaning that he's almost taking on your habits and adapting as the battle goes on. Useless fact number 2. Now this one's not necessarily a fact about Dark Link, but more about the arena or the mirage of an area that you fight him in, and that's that Dark Link always spawns behind you. I'm sure you're already aware of this, but if we remember the water temple, it kind of seems to expand along a long ways away. Now, when I was doing my testing on the different swords and stunning him and hitting him, Dark Link ended up voiding out a lot, basically soft locking myself in that room and he would never respawn. He just fell indefinitely. Now this means that there has to be the boundary for the level, and then outside of that, enough room for him to spawn and never fall off and soft lock the game. At least I hope that's how it is, I suppose I should say. So yeah, there's a lot more active ground on that arena than we probably thought. Now I wanted to put in a bonus useless fact because I don't know if it's a useless fact about Dark Link or if it's a useless fact about the code that I used or the Temple of Time or exactly what conspired to make this happen, but using one of the codes I was able to load Dark Link into the Temple of Time, and it seems like he took the place that you warp onto when you play the Prelude of Light. I don't know if this has to do with like object limits or exactly what the problem here was, but he definitely did take the place of that pedestal. Just a useless fun fact. And finally, we have our number 1 useless fact, and definitely the most interesting of the 5 or 6 or 7, depending on how you count the extras, and that is that Dark Link will actually block differently. He'll use the different crouch animation when you're fighting him as a child with the Hylian shield. He actually does the kind of turtles up like Child Link does with the shield on his back. Now this is kind of interesting. It means that he is actually partially modeled after whatever you come into the room as, and if you look here, he's actually kind of got his lower part of his legs stuck into the floor even. So I don't know why that's a thing. I'm not a coder. If you know why this is the case, then let me know in the comments below. I have no clue, but it's by far the one thing out of all of this that I was not expecting, hence why it is number 1. Anyway, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. It does help me out an awful lot. I really do appreciate it. Real quick, I would just like to give a shout out to my patrons, George Kazna III, Mark Comer, Emai, Milanus, Jennifer Campney, Ryan Ellison, and Ash. They've been so generous as to support me and my work here on YouTube, and I hope that maybe you will consider doing the same. Or of course you can leave the video a like, hit that bell, hit that subscribe button so you always know exactly when I'm posting content here. Doesn't come around that often, but I try to make every video worth your while. And with that, I am Newbornkilik, and I will see you in the next one. I'm out.